Brothers and sisters in Islam, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it to be a pleasure, a refresher, and an honor for us to have somebody of the caliber of Ahmad Deidat in our midst. He's just come back from a tour of the Arab states on these very topics, and he's had a series of topics and lectures delivered during this week already at various venues. We are glad to have him in Hanover Park tonight. We welcome all of you to this evening's lecture, and in case some of you may leave early, I would like to remind you that we would like to see you and your friends and your neighbors at the City Hall tomorrow evening. The bill or the poster is in front of the table, Crucifixion with an X, or is it in fact fiction? Please turn up, and I can assure you, from what I've heard, you've got to be there seated before 7:30. If not, you'll be compelled to stand outside. The topic tonight is something that everybody will be able to follow and find interesting. You don't have to be a scholar of the Bible, you don't have to be a scholar or a student of Islam to be able to understand the topic. Open any newspaper and you'll see Arab and Israeli conflict. The topic tonight, Arabs, Israel and the Arabs. Is it conflict or conciliation? I give to you Brother Ahmad Deidat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي صدق الله المولى العظيم. Mr. Chairman, brothers and sisters, the topic of this evening, Arabs and Israel, conflict or conciliation, is not a subject which we have conjured up from thin air. We have had a gruesome reminder of this subject in this evening's paper, the Argus, Friday 13th. Friday the 13th. You remember, jokingly I was telling you, for the Westerner, 13 is an unlucky number, and Friday the 13th is double bad luck. So you have Friday the 13th this evening, and you see here in the Argus, this evening's paper, Israeli hostage blitz. It says here, commandos rescue 30 passengers, kill 3 Arab guerrillas in 25-second dawn raid, and it carries on. It's an eternal reminder. It's a gruesome reminder about the problem in the Middle East between the Arabs and the Jews. Now this title also is not a title which I have thought of. Arabs and Israel, conflict or conciliation. When the Israelis, when they attacked Lebanon, in Beirut they attacked the Muslims, I think it was 1982, and they were trying to destroy every Palestinian in Beirut. You remember the occasion. Every day there was news. American cluster bombs were being used to wipe out the Palestinians once and for all, solve the problem. That's what the Jews were thinking, that by destroying these Palestinians in Beirut, they would solve the problem of the Middle East. Around that time, I get a telephone call in my office from a Professor Lawson of the Natal University. Professor of law. His name was Lawson. So he's asking, he says, look, the Israeli Council General is invited by the Jewish students to lecture to Natal University on the problem of the Middle East. But I feel, he said, I feel that it is unfair that we only listen to one side of the story. If you would be prepared, we would like you to also be represented on the platform, present the Muslim point of view. And I am always game. There's something I just can never say no. Somebody invites me, and if I'm free, I say right. So he said, how should we advertise the topic? So I suggested that we advertise the pros and cons of Israel, which means the for and against of Israel. Very neutral subject. The pros and cons, this man, he will say in the favor of Israel, and I might have something opposite to say. Pros and cons of Israel. This is a very beautiful topic. He says, I will inform the Jews and I will come back to you. I said, all right. A few days later, he phones me and he says, you know, the Jews are suggesting they are not satisfied with your topic, the way you present it. They want the subject to be Arabs and Israel, conflict or conciliation? Question mark. So I said, all right. You see, there is a catch. People generally don't see the catch. The Jew is very ingenious. Allah has given him a lot of intelligence. A lot more than most of us.